start off with your name.
Okay, my name's Samantha Demichael.
And where are you currently living?
Lincoln Park, Chicago.
Okay. How did you end up here in Chicago?
Chicago's home. I was born and raised in Cicero.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I moved to Ottawa, Illinois for a little bit, right up until my freshman year of high school, and then I moved to Lisle, which is like close to Naperville, so it's western suburbs, and then I finished out high school there. Moved to California for a little bit.
California?
Yeah.
Where's California?
I lived in like Oxnard, Channel Islands, but it's like in between Ventura and Santa Barbara.
You went to college there, or you just?
I did. I went to film school out there.
What?
Yeah, I did film.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I
That's
did
awesome.
film and photography for 2 years, and then I started off with photography, and then I followed a friend on like a film set, and I fell in love with it, and then I started doing makeup and wardrobe on sets. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So just like basic makeup, like I give people a black eye every once in a while with makeup.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Sometimes punching them.
sometimes if it needed to happen. No, I'm just kidding. So I did that for about 2 years, and then I moved back to Chicago.
Wait, why did you stop doing that? Wasn't that like your
It
passion?
was a hobby. I actually knew that I wanted to become a chef while I was in California. Every Sunday, like all of my film friends, and I had this like really good friend and was very close with her and her mother, and they would come over every Sunday for Sunday dinner. So I would have 8 to 14 people over on Sunday, and we always make like a pasta dish, and people would bring wine and champagne, and we would just drink and have dinner as that was our family, our California family, because everyone was kind of like from out of town except for Rachel and her mother. When I came back, I didn't know that I wanted to do cooking. Like it still was, kind of more of just a thought, but I went to culinary school for 3 months, and then I got hired as a sushi chef.
Okay.
And then
you went to culinary school? Where'd you go in culinary school?
To the Cordon Bleu. I was only there for 3 months, so.
He won't bite me, right?
No, he won't. He's just talking. Hey, come here.
Get him
Perfect.
So you came back over here. Why did you come to Chicago? Why not?
For a boy, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I was dating someone. So we met in the summer, and then he, at the end of summer, he stayed in California with me for a little bit, and then we moved back out here because he's from Michigan, and moved to Chicago, and then went separate ways.
Gotcha. Okay, so you came to Chicago and you started doing more culinary, or did you go back to school? Or?
Yeah, so I pretty much immediately started back at culinary school.
Okay.
And then I got hired at Roca, and I got hired pretty quickly, and then they offered me the sushi chef position.
Okay.
And worked there, and then as I was working there, I was learning faster and more at the restaurant, so I ended up quitting culinary school and then working at Roca full time, and I was there for 2 years.
For 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very nice. So after that, you ended up...
After that, yeah, so one day I thought that I could start a business, and I quit Roca.
Is that out of nowhere? Do you have any...
Kind of. I always, wanted to be a personal chef, or, just, have my own schedule and, be creative with my food, and just kind of, be more independent.
Okay.
So I just, jumped into that and very quickly learned that, it wasn't easy. So I made, quite a few mistakes, and I don't know, it just ended up working out somehow. I started teaching private sushi classes, and then I had some people that had been asking me to cook for them, and I started off with a few clients, and then it got bigger with word of mouth and referrals, and then the sushi classes.
So you have your own business now?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your business consist of?
So I do weekly paleo meals. Everything that I cook is locally sourced or grown. So, Pascal. So, I do the Whole30, and I just do a lot of just healthy food, and again, like knowing where it's from is like really important to me. I've worked on farms before, and I think it's like really important to eat healthy and like what's going on your plate. So I started doing that about 5 years ago.
Okay.
And it's been successful for, I would say, the last 3 years.
Okay.
Like where I feel like I'm very comfortable with like what I've created. So
I guess what's one of the what's a piece of advice that you could kind of share with someone that's trying to do what you're doing, or just like maybe
research first.
Research?
Yeah. Don't just like jump
with
into
people
it.
or like online.
Yeah,
or...
no, like with people, like get experience with it first, because it's not easy, and there's like so many different things that come up, and it's like nobody like, like researching that, like people aren't gonna like actually know what it's like unless they're talking to someone that has experience with it.
Cool. So what are you currently doing now? Are you doing that full time, or?
Yeah, so I do every week. I send out a menu, and I have like a link that people click on if you want to schedule a delivery, and if not, fine, you'll still get a menu the following week. So it's kind of at your own pace, like whatever you want to do. And then I teach the sushi classes. So I have a sushi class pretty much every Saturday. It's like a 1 hour basic sushi class, cool. Sushi making class.
Very nice. So talk about a little bit more about like your family. Are you only child, or you have siblings? Or?
No, I have an older sister and then a younger brother.
Younger brother?
Yeah.
Do you get along with them?
My sister and I are very close. My brother is such a brat.
Is he?
Yeah, but he's young. He's like 20. He just turned 22, so like, he thinks he knows everything.
Is he here, are they in Chicago as well?
No, actually. So my sister's in Sandwich, Illinois, which is middle of nowhere, and then my brother's still in Ottawa. So it's like also the middle of nowhere, but it's like a kind of like a farm area.
Gotcha. What about your parents? Are they here in Chicago, or do you get along with them?
Well, my real father I haven't talked to in probably 15 years. We didn't get along. And my mom is in Downers Grove, so okay. I see her all the time.
Favorite color?
Pink.
Why?
And blue. Ever since I was a little girl, I've just loved pink. But I guess more as like an adult, I love the color blue. I'm a big like lake girl, or I like being in the water, doing like water stuff. So I think it's just very calming, and like the color just reminds me of either paddleboarding, being on the lake, or
cool. Are you in a relationship right now?
No, I'm not.
You're not? Okay.
I mean, I've had bad relationships before for sure, but everybody's different, and so love men.
Love men.
I love them.
All right, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Besides that, like, what's something that you think that I don't know, something that you think is positive in a man or in a woman? I don't know what you're.
Well, I mean, like, that's an interesting question. I mean, there's like something very sexy about a man who can like take care of himself, and
yeah, I guess that's the question. Like, what are you looking for in a man? I guess.
Someone who I don't have to necessarily take care of. Like that respects me as not just a woman, but as a person, and like just that like security of a man, like having somebody there to like just like kind of protect you, hold you, take care of you, even though you don't necessarily need it.
Got it.
Somebody that I guess wants to, isn't doing it because they have to.
Perfect. What is your favorite book or author?
I don't know, actually. I read a lot of like magazines, so I'm like big on the New Yorker and like Cosmo, and I love National Geographic, and like I'm more of a magazine gal.
Gotcha.
Articles.
Very cool. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you see yourself?
Well, I'm in the middle of my 5-year plan. I'm hoping that in 2 years from now, I've always had this dream of owning like a restaurant and a farm where I live on the top and I work I have my own kitchen or like diner or whatever, something small. But again, everything's farm to table. So my whole backyard is like vegetables, fruits, like, animals. And then again, just like everything paleo, farm to table. So hopefully within 3 years I'm doing that. And that would be something that I would do in the West Coast just because it'll be year round and,
Perfect. If you had to say a message to everyone in the entire world, what would that message be?
Oh, man. Believe in yourself. Like, know that you can do it no matter how many people are telling you that you can't. That's probably it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I love it. I know that, and it's tough to say, like, get put on the spot with that one.
Yeah.
You don't really, but no, I love it. That's a good way to put it. Where would you want to live if you had a dream place? Where would that place be?
Probably. I've never been to Europe, but I think I would love to live in Italy for even just like a short period of time, like a couple years. Or I've always wanted to go to San Sebastian, Spain.
Okay.
And I've just heard so many wonderful things about it. So somewhere very close to water and European.
I love it.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite artist or song?
I love the Rolling Stones. I kind of grew up on the Rolling Stones. My mom,
Song?
from the Rolling Stones, Beast of Burden, maybe.
Okay.
I really love that song.
You were saying something about your mom? Sorry.
Oh, she's just like, she was like such a Stones fan, and Aerosmith and Prince. No, actually, she doesn't smoke marijuana. She has asthma. So she tried it once, and she literally coughed herself to sleep.
Very nice. I love it. So, as of right now, you plan on continuing doing your business, making lots of money, right?
Yep.
If you could buy yourself one ultimate, if you had the most money in the world, what would be that one thing materialistic that you want to buy yourself?
A plane. Yeah, so I can get up and go whenever I needed to, whenever I wanted to. I love traveling, so.
How many places have you been to, or where have you been to?
Like I said, nowhere in Europe yet. I've been to Alaska and the Caribbean and all over the United States, Mexico. So I try to take a trip like once a month, but yeah, I don't know where I'd go.
Gotcha. Do you see any injustices around you? Any chance?
What do you mean?
Like, is there any discrimination, or is there anything that you want to change in the world, or something that you kind of just ticks you off or bothers you that you'd want to change?
I think it's very important to be kind to one another. You don't know what somebody else is going through or what their day's like. What literally just one tiny act of kindness, like opening the door or saying hello or whatever, asking how somebody is, could affect a person. So I think it's really important to be kind to people.
What's one thing that you pride yourself on, your characteristic that you have?
I feel like I'm a pretty honest person, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Some people don't take it very well, okay. But I kind of say it how it is, and I think it's important to do that. I don't necessarily do it the right way all the time, but okay. I feel I'm very honest.
What's something that you would change about yourself?
Maybe to be a little nicer with the way I say things. Like I said, I don't always put things the way that they should be put, but I typically mean it in the best way.
Okay, very nice. I should say, if you had a superpower, what would that superpower be?
Either to fly or read people's minds. So I know so I know what you're thinking all the time.
It's kind of creepy, but
yeah, well,
no,
it could be good.
Yeah. It's true. And I think my last question is, who would be your Prince Charming, who would you, or who's your crush in like the, as far as like, you know, movie star or?
Charlie Hunnam, first guy that comes to mind.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
No, I don't.
From like Sons of Anarchy. I think now he's in a King Arthur movie.
Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, but I think he's most well known for Sons of Anarchy. So.
Okay.
And a goofy one is
Goofy one.
Jason Bateman. I don't know what it is about him, but yeah, I love Jason Bateman.
Okay. Do you have a girl crush?
A crow?
A girl crush?
Oh, a girl crush. No, I'm not into birds. A girl crush. Yeah, I have so many girl crushes.
You had to pick one.
Probably. It's so hard. Maybe Sofia Vergara. She does it for me.
Okay. Maybe last question. If you could talk to your dad, your real dad, what would you say to him?
I don't know. I think I would just ask him why he treated us the way that he did.